Tell me what you have to go and drive me so crazy. Now I'm feeling lost without you, and I just can't be without you, baby. Want you all night long, want you all night long.
Hello one and all, welcome to Seen Through Glass and welcome to Audi HQ in Ingolstadt, Germany. Now, in my opinion, one of the coolest options you can tick, or one of the coolest things you can do when buying a new car these days, is to do a factory collection. Not every manufacturer does it, but some do, and it effectively means that on the day that your car is ready to be delivered, you actually go to the factory to collect it rather than waiting for it to be shipped to your dealer and having to go through that whole process. It's just something I've always thought would be an amazing experience. Now, take that theoretical amazing experience and invite some of your friends along, but even better, invite some of your friends that have also ordered the same car. Well, today, that concept is being turned up to 11 because 38 Audi R8 customers are all collecting their brand new R8s on the same day. 38. Now, given that these are some of the very first facelift R8s to be delivered, the actual customers who purchased them were given quite sort of restrictive options when it came to spec. The minute you start doing any sort of Audi exclusive paint or interiors, it just delays the whole build and delivery timeline. So, what you're going to see behind me is a lineup of cars with pretty standard Audi options. However, there are still some incredibly spec'd cars and a couple of cars with slightly more unique details on them. So, just watching because cars just keep coming out. I keep thinking, oh, that must be it, but the cars just keep rolling out from the factory line behind me. I want to walk around and show you some of the cars that I think are the best spec, but it's actually my first time seeing this facelift R8 in person, the Spyder and the, I think they call it the Performance now? V10 Performance? V10 Plus. No, it was the Plus. I might need to check that. Right, let's kick things off here then with a V10 R8 Spyder finished in Vegas yellow, a standard Audi colour, but satin Vegas yellow. Now, I don't know if this is satin paint. I think it's probably more likely a sort of satin top coat or vinyl to give it this effect because, as I mentioned, they're not doing a ton of Audi exclusive options. Such a subtle change makes a huge difference. This car really stands out amongst the flock. I'm going to call it a flock of R8s today. A few other nice options, lots of carbon fibre. As I mentioned, this is the actual Spyder variant rather than the coupe. But yeah, really, really nice. Here we go. You can see it's got an Instagram handle, so supercars_collector. Bit of a shout out there for you. You have got a very well spec'd V10 Spyder, sir. I'm a big fan of this car. We have got the V10 Performance. Yes, I figured out it is now called the V10 Performance, not the Plus. You can have the standard V10 or the V10 Performance. The V8 has now gone. And this car is finished in Ascari blue. I think potentially the best colour for the R8. It's a really liquid blue, which also has a sort of slightly flat pastel finish to it. They're just moving a car right behind me, so sorry if the audio is getting a bit overblown, but I just really like the options on this car. Not a lot of exterior carbon. I'm not a massive fan of exterior carbon when it's overdone. So you have the sort of standard matte titanium style finish, the bigger wheels though, and then if I come around and show you the sneaky little finish, the sneaky touch of this car is the interior carbon, and specifically around the engine bay, because look at all of this. We've got the glass up for a reason, because I don't think I've ever seen as much carbon fibre inside the engine bay of an R8. It's a thing of beauty, and then we've got the actual carbon fibre rear wing, but the rest of the car oddly sort of subtle's the wrong word because it's definitely in your face, this R8, but I'm really liking it. I'm calling it winner winner chicken dinner, my favourite car so far. This car is a standard V10, so in the mix of a ton of V10 performance cars, we've got a standard V10 denoted by its smaller wheels, lack of rear wing, And this car, silver, like the original R8, with a tan interior. I think you all know my obsession with the tan interior. I love how subtle and original this car looks. As I say, in a sort of sea of, you know, highly spec'd, intense performance V10s, to go with something like this, I think is just perfect. I love the lack of a rear wing because it's the sort of new facelifted look, but with the old school kind of vibes from Gen 1 R8. And as I say, that interior I think is just stunning. Hard to pick up now with all the reflections, but yeah, big fan. Gonna be honest, didn't know there was a song about Audi R8s. It's not bad. Audi R8. Ooh, bronze wheels. So there we have it, 38 brand new Audi R8s and R8 Spyders ready for collection. I am literally gobsmacked. I mean, it just goes on forever. Everywhere you look, R8s. I have no idea which one I would pick if I were to pick any. As I say, that Ascari blue is just popping for me, but some of the Spyders look really good. I'm usually a coupe man, but so many cars, and it must be an amazing experience for the actual owners all being gathered here today, getting ready to drive all of these cars out of the factory at the same time. For the first time, at the same time. God, I'm so excited I can't even speak, and it's not even me collecting my car, it's watching other people do it, but this is a pretty special occasion. Now, whilst I'm supposed to be here for R8, I had to come and show you this sitting on the forecourt of Audi HQ, the TT Safari, recently revealed at the Wörthersee GTI Treffen that I attended, but a few days before I actually got there. And it's a concept, it's a complete concept, just to kind of show what the Audi engineers could do. It's not a car that I think will ever be built. As you can see, it's getting a lot of attention and appreciation sitting out here, but it's absolutely amazing. I mean, why am I attempting to drive the world in a 911 when I could be doing it in something like this? So there's not a lot of information that was revealed about this car apart from what you visually can see, which is an increased ride height, these big chunky off-road tyres, wider sort of flared arches, wheel arches, and then the most noticeable thing is of course the two spare wheels where the sort of rear window used to be. So of course TT front engine, not middle rear engine, despite the sort of shape and looks, and usually you have a boot here with a glass cover. But they've replaced that, or they've at least dumped two off-road wheels bracketed in to where that used to be. Big rear sort of wing as well, high up exhaust, I guess for maybe improved wading depth, and then I mentioned that increased ride height, which is also you've seen sort of the bumpers redesigned again, I assume, so that they can sort of go dune bashing, or wherever it might take you, you're going to get some good old clearance, because usually TT's pretty low. Around the front, not only do we have more TT Safari badges, but we've got the rally lights, the yellow headlights, increased actually, look, we've got the 4 in the actual front grille, and then around the side as well, everything in yellow, and at the top these big old roof rails, which I assume would be for any additional bits and bobs that you might need to take on your safari mission. Slightly updated and changed interior, which we can't really see today. The car is not open and some pretty heavy tints on there, but yeah, I had to come and show you this thing because I think it's absolutely amazing. And God, Audi, why couldn't you build this? At least just do a limited run. You'd have customers, and one of them is talking behind this camera right now. He is loving this car, by the way. How insane is this? Out of nowhere, the original Audi S1 Quattro has led these R8s out of the actual factory doors. This thing is look at those rally lights, yes! Amazing, sounded incredible. Walter Roll on the side, pretty iconic rally driver from years before. Rally Monte Carlo logo on the front, that thing just looks insane. I imagine it's pretty hot in there today, it's quite warm. I think those in a Spyder are having a slightly better time than maybe those in enclosed cabins like this, but wow, wow, wow. This is such a frankly ridiculous sight, but all the cars have now moved outside into the sunshine so they can kind of be on display for the public, because they are going on a sort of longer drive over the next 2 days or so. This isn't it, they haven't actually just driven out and parked up outside and that's the collection over. No, this is just sort of one stage, as I say, to sort of display the cars and see them in the sunlight, because some of these colours are really popping. I'd sort of written off the lighter blue. I can't really see it. I've already banged on about the Ascari blue, but there's another blue, a much lighter crystal blue, which is now in the sunlight. Absolutely amazing. I also see a crane. How do I get on that crane? Now was a bad time to remember I'm scared of heights. Remember that monument we climbed in Wörthersee? Remember that monument we climbed together, the really tall one?
Yeah?
Yeah, this is scarier.
This is scary, yeah? Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, good luck, man. Hold on to that camera, yeah? Here he is.
Hi.
The main man, the legend, who actually invited me today to this collection.
I did. I really did.
Thank you. We both survived the crane, which I think was very important, because
it wasn't that dangerous. No.
It really was. How did you find out about this?
The main man who ordered the Vegas yellow satin R8 contacted me and said, Nicola, you have to come because Mr. Audi has to come here. And then I was like, I have to bring someone with me. Then we met at Wörthersee and it was just perfect, yeah?
Absolutely perfect. So wait, the main man is the guy with the satin yellow R8 Spyder.
Exactly.
He organised the whole thing.
Yeah, and he got all the other customers, and this is why he got the satin paint.
Oh, your food is now arriving, looking delicious. We've come upstairs to a very fancy restaurant here at Audi Forum, Audi HQ, and the food is looking amazing.
Oh yes.
But just to clarify that quickly, so it's satin paint, it's not a wrap.
No, it's paint. It's an actual paint job, yeah. I don't know if I would like to have it, but in terms of car care, but okay.
It's unique, I suppose. Anyway, here we go. Starter has arrived. Time to dig in. Wow! Stuffed full of delicious food in that Audi restaurant. As you can see, everyone else is still in there because the cars are here, abandoned. But they will be going off on their sort of epic drive, I think down to Kitzbühel this evening, but I unfortunately have to go the opposite direction towards Poland, as I mentioned, so it's time for me to now leave. I would have liked to have stayed and seen them all roll out, or seen them on the road. Would have been a sight to behold, but things don't always work out. Anyway, it's been a fascinating and amazing morning. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you have, and make sure to subscribe for plenty more videos to come.
Tell me why'd you have to go and drive me so crazy? Now I'm feeling lost without you, and I just can't be without you, baby. Want you all night long, want you all night long. Tell me why'd you have to go and drive me so crazy?